Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to International Racing League Season 10 F1 Tier, round number 6 at Japan. I'm your commentator, IRL Neon, or as Jared Lee Fosbury, joined by my co-commentator, Mr. Tom Jewell.
Good evening.
Well, no Paco today, as we want to do a new system of commentators. It'll be Tom this week, Paco next week, and then Tom again for the rest of the season. So Tom will be in the final round this season, which also will be great. Since Paco did the first round. But yeah, Tom, have you got anything to add about the Japanese race today?
Well, I'm looking forward to it today. It's a decent racetrack. Not too many opportunities of overtakes, but should be an interesting one.
Definitely indeed, especially with Matthew set in mid-24s. So that guy has been practicing and showing that he's still got some mad pace. Well then, as I haven't done in a while, we will actually read the standings, even though Matthew is in the lead by a lot. Matthew then, with 128 points, he's had 4 wins, could have had 5 wins, but unfortunately Bugatti took that at Hungary. So 4 wins then, and a second place, so 128 points for him. But no fastest laps this year, and we have rain. That is very interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So no 24 times for Matthew then. And we only have a 13 car grid, which is a shame. Few people have left for reasons, personal reasons of course. Not to do with the league or anything, it's just they can't really do it anymore since COVID's now ending and stuff. As we see in AlphaTauri leaving the pit lane, I believe that is Alfie. Yes, Alfie is on a lap. So Tom, as I usually do with Paco, quali prediction, who do you think is going to be in the top 4 with those tricky conditions right now?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about Matthew. I think he's going to take pole. But I think other than that, Lee's been showing some good pace. So I'd back him for top 3, maybe 3rd. I'd say Bugatti 2nd. And then I'll back my Jersey boy, Ollie, for P4.
Yeah, you will back Jersey, Ollie boy there. He's actually had a very good season. Some strong performances. He has miles better season than last season. He had a lot of retirements. And he actually got more pace in the game. But yeah, I've got to agree with Matthew then on first. Second, I'm going to give it to Lewis. I feel like he's got the pace to be up there now. He's had a lot of experience with Matthew. So Lewis definitely second. I'm going to go Rockwell third. But I'm actually going to agree with you. I think Ollie could get 4th place. I think he may have the advantage in the inter-conditions. Him and Brian especially. So they'll be fighting, I believe, for 4th. But it's going to be a very interesting race. It might be a boring race midway through, but very interesting. Hopefully no glitches like last season. As Tomlin, if you want to go on board with Alfie then, who's about to begin his first lap, I'll let you do the first lap time.
Yeah, sound. So Alfie comes to start his lap. I'm guessing he's going to have a good time around here because he's been showing some good pace recently. So he needs a good exit. In the wet should be quite difficult, but he does it fine. So starting his lap now. Coming up to turn 1. S is a very difficult part of the track. It's crucial to get right. Takes it well. Needs a good exit. Very tidy. So coming up to turn 3. Yeah, perfect. Needs to keep it under control. He's doing well, stays in 4th. Tidy, coming up to Dunlop. It's a difficult corner to get right, especially in the wet. It's easy to lose the rear. He takes it well. Coming up to the first Degner. Time's looking good so far, it's a 36.8. Second Degner. Needs to keep it under control. Takes it well. Now, I find this probably one of the most difficult corners on the track for myself. It's so hard to get the traction down out of here. Takes it well, up to 3rd, 4th. On one of the straights coming up to Spoon before the longest straight on the track. Takes it well. Needs a good exit for the longest straight. This is pretty perfect to me. This lap's looking very tidy so far. It should put him right up there. Coming into the short left hand, small left hander, not really a turn, just a little kink. Coming into the final chicane in the track. Crucial to get right. keeps it under control, gets the power down, which would have been difficult to do last year with the little bump in the track. It's fine now. And over the line for 39.7, which is a great lap in the wet. Not bad. Not bad start.
Not bad at all there, but here comes Matthew Order. Will he smash that lap time? And he does. He does a 36.9. So that's probably real advantage and his skill advantage there. Big guy did say, Alfie did say he wasn't really keen on the track. Lee Kelly in second. Now Lewis moved to second place with 37.2. Now let's go. Oh no, I was actually going to say go on the board with the old man, but it looks like he has gone off.
Oh yeah, he's going very slow through her messes.
He's indeed, and Brandon Villas has left the session. Hopefully he can make it back as soon as possible. As we go on board with Lewis Bassman then, who's currently in Sector 2 on a lap. He's got over 80%, as ERS won't be an issue in the rain. It won't drain as much, as you're not really pushing the car as you would in a dry weather setup. But let's see what Lewis can do then, as he's now going down at the long straights, approaching 130R. Will he make a mistake? We haven't seen anybody do that in FP, except Lewis Curtis, who, almost a big mistake there. It looked like the racing point there just glued to the exit curb. Now he's through the chicane now, as he's now coming down to the final part of the track, where, as Tom said, used to be a bump, and does a 37.9, goes third place.
That's a good lap. And then, I mean, I was looking at Brown before as well, 40.7, and Brown's usually known for being quite good in the wet, so I was just surprised. It's quite slow for him. He should improve. Yeah,
that is quite slow from Brown. He's very good actually in the conditions. He's shown pace as Matthews, even shown more pace now with 36.366. So he's extended that lead now. But right now, and as Bugatti actually on second, there's some flat, so he's also improved. As we're on board with Ollie Favell right now, Tom, have you got any little tips for Mr. Ollie Favell in the McLaren?
Well, I don't think so. I think he's quite a bit of a better driver than me, to be fair. But I mean, he just went purple in the first sector, so he's looking good until he locked up into. I'm not sure the car number, but.
Don't know what I think that is.
But
yeah, he did have a massive lock up. That's going to cost him probably at least a tenth. But he is looking forward for this race day, so I'll let you carry on with the rest of his lap as he's about to finish it.
Sounds. Again, on the long straight, he needs a good exit here. It was looking like a good lap. I'm not sure if the timings are right or not with the purple first sector. But coming up to 130R, well, yeah, I think the timings are off. Apparently it's purple second sector with a massive lock-up. But he still needs to get a lap on the board. He needs to get it off, get started well. An okay exit, short shift to 5th. Comes across the line with his first lap. 37.7, which puts him 5th. He'll be looking to improve on that, because I know he can do better than that in the wet, but not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad there for Molly. He'll be happy with that. 6th place, possibly looking for a podium today, hopefully. As we're going to go on board with the old breed, Mr. Sondre Sohaug. In the Renault today, his teammate couldn't make it today. No reason why. He should have been here, but that is a shame for Cameron. As Sondre then, in the Renault, he's going to have to do all the heavy lifting in the French team, as it will be rebranded in the new season, season 11, as the Alpine team on the next game. But Mr. Sohaug then, coming into the chicane, let's see what he can do. Will he crack under pressure? Do you want to place any bets here, Tom?
I mean, he usually drives like it's wet all the time, so I don't know how he's going to do when it's actually wet. So, no, I think he can put a lap together. I reckon he can get a good lap in.
Well, as he's now into turn 1, I caught turn 1 and 2. He just calls it one whole corner as he's losing the rear end, and he just saves it. Oh, he's into the grass. He's lawnmowering it, and well, yeah, he made a mistake. He hasn't invited, so he's going to probably continue just to settle up on the board. But yeah, that's a shame there for Mr. Sohaug, because it won't let me change driver. Is Kevin Harrison's in the pits? Is Brandon in the pits as well? Yes, he is.
Looks like it, yeah.
He's actually leaving the pit lane now. So he's actually in the session. Hopefully he has no issue. As I believe that's Alfie. No, that's actually Fleddy. He's 8th, currently with 37.9.
Oh, yeah.
Well then, Tom, do you think the weather in the race is going to be the same as these conditions, or do you think there's possibly dry weather for the race?
Well, I'm hoping it's going to be wet in the actual race as well. It should need some interesting racing. So maybe some spins, a couple of crashes, make it a bit interesting for us. But I mean, I don't know. Personally, I'm hoping the rain stays on, but I'm sure the drivers will be thinking different.
Well, I'll tell you who's just improved right now, though, is actually two drivers. Lewis and Lee Kelly. As you said in one of your predictions, Lee Kelly to be up there. He's currently in third with 36.8. Lewis Fassman second with 36.7. So they've closed up on Matthew's pole position that time by a bit now. Matthew had over a second earlier, now it's under that. So he needs to pick up the pace if he wants to keep a gap of a second. But right now, though, quickest is a 36.3. No one's that close.
No. But yeah, the man in P2 at the moment, the F2 champion from last season, he's showing good pace. He's looking like he could maybe keep this podium spot throughout the race. Looking quite quick at the moment. But I don't think he'll be able to catch Matthew.
Nah, I'm not being harsh to Lewis there. He probably won't. Matthew is very quick, I must say, as he's actually going to go for another run, it looks like. Let's actually go on board then with the four-time champion. And, you know, I'll give you the honour then, Tom, if he actually does stall up. Oh, rear end goes, but here you go, Tom. He's on a lap right now.
After that bit of a dodgy exit, starting his lap, he's going to want to improve on 36.3, even though I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch that. But looking to consolidate it. Comes through turn 1, turn 2 well. Good exit. Going into the S's, he's going to want to be able to keep it stable through here. So far, he's doing that well. Stays in 5th, down to 4th, 3rd. Ball touches the curb through Dunlop. Difficult corner. Takes it well. Full throttle now into the first Stegner. It's purple in the first sector, so he is improving. He's improving by 700 so far. A good exit. Now he's going to want to get the traction down here for the straight with 4 spoon. He locks up a little bit, but it doesn't seem to hinder him too much. He gets a good exit. The yellow flags I saw, I'm not sure what that's for, but going down the straight, he into spoon. A little lock up, but it's not too bad. We'll find out in a minute if he's still improving. On the longer straight of the track, gets a good exit. Now finishing sector 2 now, he is up on his time by about 1.5 tenths, a bit more than that. So once he's going to finish this lap improving, he might be looking for a 35 here. Locks up a little bit again. Gets a good exit. This looks like a pretty tidy lap, to be honest. Comes across the line. 36.1. That's a fucking ridiculous lap. That's a ridiculous lap. 6 tenths ahead of P2, so sorry for the language.
Sorry, you have to say it against Matthew, you know. Well, no one can touch him right now as he's taken pole, and stretched that gap again even more now to, as you said, 6 tenths. So Matthew is on a mission, and maybe he wants to increase that gap again, as I believe he is on another run, but he will go on board with somebody else right now, and I believe there is a Renault ready for another lap, and it is the old man, Mr. Sohaug. We said we would have a bit more TV time on him today, as he was a great engineer to myself. But let's go then. As oh god, my god, it's F1, not rallycross or drifting or anything like that. We are in Japan, of course. Drifting is cool in Japan, but Sonoden probably not happy with that. He's probably a bit annoyed and laughing as well under that helmet. We'll go on board with Kevin then, who's currently in Dunlop now, and let's see if he has any issues with lockup. He is on no ABS now as well, which we have heard about. He's gone on to no ABS finally, after people drilled it into him to finally go to it. Maybe next season it will be wheel with him, but we'll have to wait and see, as something has just improved. That is Alfie 36.3. 2 tenths.
Wow. Maybe you can catch Matthew.
Yeah, especially when he said this isn't his good track. But right now he's showing that even if it's not his good track, he's close to Matthew. Older as Kevin then. Oh my god. Matthew's just done this 36 flat. So Matthew has just improved. And Kevin then, finishing off his lap then through the chicane now. Will he make a mistake? Keeps the car under control. No lock up there on my end. As he's coming to the line now. Ninth, 37.6.
Not bad, not bad. He'll still be looking to improve, but not a bad lap from him, considering he's got no ABS. And speaking of no ABS, Jared, what's your thoughts on your ABS usage?
You know, I'm on no ABS. I've been on no ABS all season. You know, I'm just
really?
Oh my God, Sondra Sohaug has binned it. Please, FIA Limited Media, give me the camera angle of that. I want to replay. Sondra Sohaug is into the wall. But no, I've got to give Kevin credit with no ABS. He's took a big gamble. He ain't gonna get dropped down to F2, of course, because turnout is, today. So you know, he's doing quite well, and I am thinking about going back to wheel and no ABS next season. I'm definitely going wheel again next season on the new game and full going it now. I'm sick and tired of having shots, so let's give it another whirl. But enough about me. Let's go about F1. Brandon Vilgas into 8th place, 37.4. We do have 2 brands on the track. Rocco Walsh then in 7th place on no line as well, so he's doing quite well with 37.2 in 7th place. Maybe he could get a better result. And Lewis Fassman then on a flyer, but he's invalidated. Do you know anybody on the lap right now, Tom?
No, I was just having a look around. Looks like Kevin's starting a lap, I think. Yeah, Kevin's starting a lap.
Okay, then if you want to go on board with Kevin then, as we only got 2 minutes 25 seconds of remaining of the session.
So yeah, coming into turn 1 and 2, basically the same turn to be honest, but he gets a good exit. Going up to the S's, he's going to want to keep it under control. Touches the grass a little bit, but he seems to hold it well. Taking it well. Yeah, it's tidy. Coming up to Dunlop, bit of a tight line. Shouldn't be too bad. He's going to want to improve on probably what his final lap, or last couple laps of the session. Hopefully jump up a few more positions. Good exit. And difficult traction zone, especially in the heavy rain. Yeah, again, takes it well. Doesn't lock up with the no ABS for him. ABS. Coming down the straight to Spoon. It's difficult to not lock up around here, especially for someone who's only just come off ABS. But he takes it well. Gets a good exit for the long straight. We'll find out if he's improving now. By 4 tenths, almost 5 tenths. It's not bad for him. 130R. This could be a big jump up the leaderboard for him, and it's what he needs. Bit of a lock up there. Comes with this end of the chicane. Ooh, bit stuttery on the exit. Ooh, almost loses it. Well, he should still improve, only by 1 position though. There's minimal time in it to P7, but a good lap from Kevin. But he knows he can improve.
Yeah, good luck there, especially from Kevin Hayes. He's got enough time as Lewis Kirster goes off into turn 1. He's called it a day. He only has 30 seconds remaining of the session. There's no way in hell he's going to get round the track quick enough. Matthew is looking to improve. And actually, we didn't actually catch this, Tom. Look how close Lewis Curtis is to Matthew Older.
Oh, geez, about 400, isn't it? I didn't expect that from the Alfa Romeo boys.
It's run out 3,500s, and then Lee Kelly's just moved into 3rd place, so it's even closer than we thought. We need raining conditions from now on in the F1 tier. Let's go on board with who's actually on a flyer right now. Kevin, you said he's on another lap. Lewis also on a lap. Is anybody actually improving though? You know, let's go aboard with Alfie then. He's currently in 4th, currently with a 36.3. He's looking for pole position, as Matthew then has backed off, I believe. If you can actually have a look on that, Tom. Is Matthew on a lap, or is he backed off, or is that Lewis Curtis?
Matthew's on a lap. I think Lewis is backed off though, but yeah. You want to stay on board, Matthew?
Alfie's just messed up. If you want to do Matthew then, as he is finishing off his lap.
Alright, sound. Matthew's purple in sector 1. That time he should be right, because we know how quick he is. And I thought he'd be safe up in P1, but people are getting dangerously close to him, so he's going to want to improve by quite a bit, just to make sure he keeps that P1. And coming down the straight into Spoon. Difficult not to lock up. Does he take it well? That's perfect, no mistake there. Rocco on the right, getting out of the way. We're about to find out if he's going to be improving. He probably is. Gee, this is going to be a high 35. He's improving by 1.6. Just over a tenth. Locks up. He's probably still improving. Oh, Lee goes pole. Right, Matthew knows he needs to improve now. It's not much in it because he's got 136 flat. He should take pole.
Yeah, he's got it.
And there we go, 35.8. There's not really any doubt in it. That's a great lap from Lee. And except for Lewis, my prediction for the top four is right at the moment. So,
it is.
Lewis Watson.
It is. You are correct though. You had Lee up there, and Lee not that far off, as everyone has done their laps now. I don't think Rocco is improving. Yeah, he's not. He's driving like a snail right now. Right now, we're going very slow there. Don't know if he was conserving the tyres for the race, but yeah, that's quite then. And Matthew thought he almost lost pole, but then he comes back near the end of the session. Well then, as we go down the 13-car grid official qualifying session then. As Matthew then sets a 35.8. Lee Kelly in second. Lewis Curtis in third. Lewis Fossman fourth. Alfie fifth. Brandon sixth. Rocco seventh. Brandon in 8th, or Brandon Vegas in 8th, sorry. Kevin Harris 9th, Fleddy in 10th, Oliver in 11th, Davidic in 12th with 37.977. And then it is the almighty Bottle Hog, Mr. Sondra Sohaug, with no time set in the Renault, but he's looking hopefully for good weather in the race and looking for good results.
You know, I think he's sandbagging. It's strategy.
Yeah, like Mercedes did. I think they are sandbagging, to be honest. Mr. Sohaug, the Renault team, I think they're just letting Matthew have an early lead and then going to use all the CRG setups and get really good in the race. But all jokes and all like that. Hopefully Sondra does have a good race. As let's get excited for 13-car grid. Hopefully no pile-ups into turn 1. And weather cloudy at the moment. Possible threat of rain. And we will go over the race predictions again in the formation lap. But what do you think of the weather though, Tom? Do you think there's a chance of rain? It's been like this the past couple of rounds in the race where it's been cloudy and no rain, but are we finally going to get some rain in the race?
Well, I mean, it's cleared up mostly from quali, but the cloud's still there, so there's still that chance of rain, and I'm hoping maybe this time, you know, it will come mid-race and mess up the strategies, and then hopefully maybe see a different winner to Matthew. But, yeah, we'll see.
Well, I'd like to also see a different winner from Matthew, but the guy has been on form lately, and the only guy who's managed to beat him is actually Alfie. By strategy, I think, and safety car, a bit of luck. As finally people have now decided their tyre choice and race strategies and fuel loads, so we will be going on the formation lap in 18 seconds. And it looks like the Renault there of Sondra Sohaug is going to be running the medium tyre. So, what was that, the hard? I can't actually tell from that distance, but it looks like mediums. And he's probably going to go medium to soft, which is easily possible since we're in equal cars, not in the FP tier, where it is realistic performance. Well then, as the lights go off then for the formation lap, we will get everything up, all the information you guys need for the race, and look how close Lee is weaving the Matthew. Well then, Matthew then, since everyone has a free choice of tyre, Matthew, Lee and Lewis all start on the mediums, and that's a very interesting tactic from Alfa Romeo. It's going on the same tyre compound. I thought they would have done an alternate strategy, one being on softs, one being on mediums, but no, it's a very interesting tactic. Then we have Lewis Bassman in 4th. He is going to be quick on those soft tyres, maybe not quick enough to challenge Matthew, but easily to challenge Lee and Lewis Curtis, with Alfie in 5th on mediums, Brandon 6th, Rocco in 7th on mediums as well, with Brandon Vegas in 8th, Kevin Harris in 9th, also on medium tyres. Then the other outlier, the other odd driver who's not going on mediums, is Fleddy in 10th place. He's on soft tyres, and he's also going to be near there. Hopefully there's no carnage with these soft runners. And Oliver Vell, Davidic and Sondra Sohaug, who didn't make it within the top 10, are also on a free choice tyre on medium tyres. And nobody has gone hards. And what do you think of that strategy then? A lot of people going on mediums, Tom.
Well, what I reckon is the optimal strategy, but that's why I'm a bit confused why Lewis Wassman's taken the opportunity to go with the softs, because I mean, he could use it to, you know, with the pace and overtake some people early, but I mean, it's a different track to make the overtakes. So if I were him, I would have maybe stuck to the mediums, but with Fleddy, I suppose, on them softs, it's a gamble he has to take from being towards the back of the grid, the 13-man grid. So it'll be interesting, but I definitely think mediums would have been the option.
I have to agree. I think mediums is the safe bet, and hopefully Sandra can have a bit of more luck as we get the predicted stop strategy. And Sandra is doing the one at the bottom, medium to hard apparently stint, not soft to hard. Always chaos is happening on the formation lap right now, and missed it between Ollie and Davidic. Sandra almost hit the Ferrari there. But hopefully Sandra can have a bit more luck. Hopefully no spinning into the wall like he did in quali, and hopefully he can get a good start. And as I always say, Tom, could you watch out near the back in case there's a car going upside down, aka Sandra, hitting Ollie off. And I'll keep an eye on the front in case there's any chaos there as well. As the light sequence should be going very shortly. Oh, there we go then. So the first set of lights will begin now as we get the pit stop strategy again. Light sequence has begun then. And we're at 5 red lights, and the lights are out, and Lee Kelly's had a great start. Actually, not scratch that. Lewis Curtis had an alright start, but Matthew keeps it under control. But look at Lewis Fassman, already moving into 3rd place, showing Lewis off. Oh, Lewis has gone off the track a little bit, trying to pass Lee Kelly around the outside. And they're still going side by side. And how is the back end there, Tom? Has there been any chaotic moves or anything like that?
At the back, I'm surprised. It's actually fairly tidy. Sandra is. I was on board with Sandra. He stayed far behind, but pretty much everyone towards the back of the grid, it stayed pretty tidy. No crash, no damage, nothing.
Well, that's great to see. But right now and then, Lewis Fassman couldn't get the job done in turn 1 on Lewis Curtis. Lewis played the smart strategy to run wide to get a tighter line on the exit, and he made it work. Lewis Curtis then holds 3rd place, Lee Kelly holds 2nd, and Matthew holds 1st. But Lewis Fassman is looking hungry for a possible podium today, as I believe Kevin got a podium at one point this season. As Alfie then in 5th place apparently has a glitched tyre. He's using the 2021 spec tyres apparently, as he has 0 laps or not even a graphic for that, so don't know why that is like that. As Ross does say in the chat, Tom is actually not drunk. He actually is drunk of amazing skill. So
well, I hide it very well, Ross.
as Lee Kelly's not hiding it very well with his pace. Lewis Kirsten into 2nd place. We just missed that overtake. Wasn't actually expecting to move.
Ooh, Kevin's just went for a dive on Brandon Villegas, and he's hit his rear, and he's spun him round. It looks like Brandon came out alright with it, but Kevin's had to go into the pits. I think a bit of a damaged wing.
Well, DRS is enabled then, as well, it's actually not. But Sonny Sorg's making a move on Brandon Villegas. I can't believe it. Sohaug is trying to make an overtake, and he's. Okay, I am not seeing this right. Sondre isn't 3rd. No, he isn't. I got worried there for a sec. I thought everybody crashed. Sondre then isn't 3rd. Matthew still in the lead. With a big gap now, with Lewis Curtis in 2nd place. As got to say, graphic fix yourself. As Lee Kelly then is a bit under threat now by Lewis Bassman, as we'll keep an eye on out there. As looks like Brand there going on move on Rocco.
Oh, there you go. Sends it down the inside.
Easy overtake there from Rocco, and Bran trying to scrap for 6th place. And it's very good to see, you know. Brandon was rumoured to be teammates with Matthew this season, but Matthew turned it down because he was in the Merc, and Rocco was Matthew's former teammate. And Rocco went to no line this season, and Rocco is just showing Brandon up right now. And Rocco then in 6th place.
I mean, that is the big question, though. Will Bran ever leave the Merc?
No, I don't think it'll happen unless there is a new F1 tier admin who doesn't give him the Merc. But no, I don't think that is the case. As Lee Kelly then still holding 3rd. Matthew currently sets a new fast lap, 29.9. Now it is looking a little bit lighter. Possible rain. It's probably less likely now. But let's go back a couple of laps ago. Between Kevin's dive, could you, as you saw what actually happened, could you actually give us a bit more detailed information there, Tom, on what happened with Kevin?
After 130R on that straight, he was. I just caught the end of it. Kevin sent it down. Well, I think it's down the outside into the start of the chicane, and then tapped the rear left tyre of Brandon Villegas, and his front end just turned in. But Kevin used his car to straighten Brandon back up. So he came out alright from it, but yeah, Kevin suffered a bit of damage. He's had to pit, and now he's on fresh mediums. It was 2 stops for Kevin.
Yeah, definitely a two-stop there from Kevin now, because there's no way he can take those mediums today. Maybe Hards, possibly, but he doesn't want to be that slow. So Kevin's definitely out of a podium today. So Racing Point, looking on Lewis Bassman, currently in 4th place. And it is a shame there for Kevin, as you know, he's improved a lot. From Season 6, when he first joined IRL, he was battling with me, won the championship, and then he's had a couple of good runs, and then he's now moved up to the top tier finally. And he's doing quite well for himself, but today is not his day as Lewis Bassman. It's a little bit of time to Lee Kelly now, I think we'd see. All the soft tyres are already starting to wear down. I wonder when he will pit.
I know, this is what I was saying just before. Like the softs will give him the quicker pace, but it's going to be so difficult to make the overtakes at the start around this track. So I think he's just, the strategy is just not the right one on it, in my opinion. He's going to lose time on the next stint from being on the harder tyres, and yeah, it's too difficult to make the overtakes.
Well, right now then, Lewis Bassman is doing everything he can just to keep with Lee, but look at the gap between Lewis Curtis and Matthew. Lewis is probably been given orders by Matthew, just don't push too much. You know, we want to win the constructors first, then we can fight for the drivers, even though Matthew probably will win the drivers again and become a 5-time champion. But he's keeping a gap though with Lee Kelly. Lee Kelly hasn't become a threat. Lee was a threat in quali. Oh, and Fleddy, first person to pick up a time penalty, 3 seconds added to his time. And I don't believe there's any F1 penalties which were carried over this week. Let's actually have a look at that.
No, I had a look before, I think, but it was looking like Lordy was going to get one for the
Baku, yeah,
controversial pit entry, but he came out unscathed.
Well, technically he did actually get the penalty, but then in closer investigation by the stewards, it actually then was removed, as it wasn't that much of a danger the way it was explained. But he got a bit of a jail out of free card out of that one. However, if he does it today, actually he's not even in the race today, unfortunately. But if he did do it today, he would probably get a straight 5. As Japan, you can kind of gain an advantage if you cut it, but no position change at the moment, and we're on lap 5, and everyone is pretty close together.
Yeah, there's not too many position changes so far, but right up behind each other. I think Brandon Villegas is looking up the rear of Ollie, but otherwise there's not much going on, to be honest. Ooh.
As right now, though, on board with Alfie right now is actually, what's happened to Sandra Sohaug? He's just dropped to 12. He was ahead of Ferrari.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he had a moment or something and Fleddy 6th position, but I'm not too sure what happened there. I didn't quite see it.
Oh, that isn't good, Sandra. Hopefully you can get it back into gear, as he's... Looks like he's having an issue or something with the car altogether. Right now, in 12th place, he's losing time. He's got a second. He's got front wing damage. No damage I can see on the car. So hopefully it was just a mistake, and he hopefully can crack under that pressure and start moving up the field. But right now, then, we're going to go back on board with a fight for 3rd place. Let's fast him now, close up a little bit more. 4.5 tenths.
Yeah, he's going to want to be able to get this position soon, because he's on the softer tyre, and soon they're going to start, you know, the mediums will be quicker than these softs soon as they degrade more. So maybe he might have a go down into turn 1 using the ERS open. Round the outside of Lee, this looks like great. Oh, just off track. Lee keeps the position. Good defender from Lee. Will he have a go into the S's? Touch the glass. No, Lee manages to keep the position, but it's Lewis had a good go at that. Not quite.
Yeah, Lewis did have a good go there, but those softs will be starting to die off. If he wants to try something, he needs to pick up the pace, because he's going to pit first. He's going to get plenty of clean air, and then pit for mediums, and then hopefully that undercut will work. He will get a massive undercut compared to everybody else, but he won't be getting that much time because everybody else is on the medium tyre already. So it'll be very interesting what Lewis does today, as he's currently in 4th and still challenging for 3rd, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see right now.
But yeah, there's not many battles going on around the track at the moment. I mean, the closest ones is, well, the battle for P3 between Lee, Lewis and I think Alfie Bugatti. I'm not sure that's his name. Is it Alfie Bugatti?
Alfie, yeah, for Bugatti. Yeah, Alfie is Bugatti.
And then otherwise, it's Ollie and Brandon Villegas. But otherwise, not much else going on.
Oh, I see a spicy battle further down the grid in 12th place.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the ball hog. He's looking hungry for a position. For 11th. Not a points paying position, but he is looking hungry. DRS is active. Will he have enough straight line speed? Not this time out. However, though, we're going to go back on board with Alfie because, as you said, he was fighting with Lewis, and it looks like Lewis' tyres have now dropped off as the gap between him and Lee now 6/10.
I mean, yeah, just as we predicted, to be fair. I mean, but the benefit that he will get from this strategy is the undercut, but I don't think he'll be able to keep the positions with the slower tyre later in the race. But yeah, he'll have to work hard to make the strategy work. And Alfie catching up to the back of him now, he might start to lose positions.
Oh, it looks like Lewis's softs have just hit. I can't speak. They've just hit rock bottom right now, those soft tyres. He needs to pit. If I was him, I'd pit now. Mediums at least can go to the end. Oh, Lee Kelly just went in AI for a second. I don't know why he went in AI. That is questionable. The only time now AI isn't actually allowed to be used under the VSC, as the glitch which we had last season, Matthew sets a new fast lap, 1:29.677. But as I was saying, the glitch with the Delta, that was last season. We thought it was patched. It's now come back, so it could be a threat. As no overtake there from anyone. Brandon Villegas getting close to Ollie. Will he go for a dive, possibly around the outside? No, stays behind. And oh, hang on a minute. Oh, Fleet's pit, that's why. Sandra Sorglen into 11th. I was wondering if we were getting an overtake, but Sorglen into clean air now and on the charge to catch up with the Ferrari. Currently the gap between him and the Ferrari 5.6 seconds.
Yeah, I got excited as well. I thought Sandra just made an overtake, but not this time. I saw further up the grid, Lewis Wassman looked like he was getting close to Lee down into turn 1 again, but no move made there.
Yeah, no move there at all, as he's using a bit more of his ERS. The soft tyres are still in play, it looks like, for him, but he needs to pit. You know, Fleddy's gone on the hard tyres, even though mediums can go to the end, and he wasn't soft, so it's a very interesting tactic, but is the reason he's gone hard is there an actual threat of rain right near the end, and he wants to be on that tyre. They've still got great push and get positions, or is there no rain at all, as it looks like there's possibly not rain at all. There's a lock up there from Mr. Lee Kelly, and that could probably line up Lewis Vossman to get closer. Matthew sets new fastest lap, 29.639. He's doing what he did last week here, Tom, just setting blistering lap times.
He cannot stop improving. And like the 2.1 second gap to the man behind as well. He is on fire at the moment.
He is on fire, as we'll just have a look at live chat. Someone just commented, as if it loads.
Probably Ross. I know.
Probably is Ross, to be honest.
But
no,
he got damaged lap 1 and had to change strat.
Ah, that's why Flay pit. But even still, then that's probably with the Sandra Sohag incident or Kevin. That's why Sandra dropped off. But even still, mediums can easily make to the end for an F1 driver, so it is questionable. There's gap between the leaders though, 2.2 seconds right now between Matthew and Lewis. Lee Kelly is in a world of trouble right now. He's holding up a massive train.
I mean, people are going to be eager to get past him soon, but please. To be fair, I was expecting that to come earlier. He's done well to save 9 laps before his first penalty, so it's good for Sondre, but I mean, yeah, he's going to want no more of their mornings.
It's true, usually he does rack up the penalties. And right now then, we're going to keep an eye on the battle for the position. It looks like Lewis is a bit closer though, but is it enough? 6/10. He needs to use his pace. Lee Kelly is just saving his ERS. And right now, Lee Kelly is looking for a podium. Oh, what did I just miss?
Sorry, I mean, Sondre almost lost it out of spoon. He hit the I think he touched the curb on the left, and it sent him onto the curb on the right, and he managed to save it. It was a great save. It was almost nose straight into the barrier for Sandro. Sorry to interrupt anyway.
That is perfectly fine. As right now then, we'll go on board with Mr. Bugatti, as he has closed back up now on Lewis Fastman now, under 4 tenths. He is getting close now on these mediums. These softs have to be dead. And let's just go back on the weather. It is definitely not going to rain. There's, on the left side of the track, sun approaching, so it looks like clear skies yet again in a cloudy race. So the only rain we did get was a quality. There's a massive lock up there for Alfa in the left front.
Yeah, I just saw that. But I mean, with the rain, we're fortunate to get rain in the qualifying session. But unfortunately, no rain in the race. Could have been more interesting. But I suppose the drivers would be happy.
Yeah, they've got to be happy indeed. As right now then, we're going to go on board with Lewis Fastman rear end then, as we're going to see how close Bugatti does gain on this straight, because now this is still close to Lee Kelly, 5.5 tenths this time, but look at Rocco Walsh, he's not that far now, neither is Brandon Glover. These 5 are in a massive train and they're just holding each other up. Gap now to Lee and Lewis Curtis, 3.6 seconds.
Yeah, Lewis is managing to keep right up behind Lee, and again Alfie's straight behind him. I think Lewis has got to be coming in soon though. Once 10 laps on those softs, they're going to start to wear now. He's probably looking to pit onto the mediums next, whereas obviously Freddie's gone to the hards. But if he wants any chance of competing with the others once they pit onto softs, he's going to need to go onto the mediums. So he's trying to stretch them tyres as long as he possibly can. He's done well so far.
Yeah, he's keeping up with the pace, even though those softs, you can just see now on the front tyres that there is a bit of blistering, and the tyres are now starting to hit the peak. And they're probably, if he's not careful, if he stays out for the next probably 3-2 laps, they're going to pop, and he needs to make a pit stop soon, because he's just losing time to himself, and he's not taking the option of doing the other. As there's a yellow, is that Sondre? It is a Renault going slowly in there, and near, what's I can't remember what the corner is called. Denver, I believe it is, or Dunlop, or whatever. But it looks like he lost the rear end or something, not damage to the Renault. Hopefully he can just focus and keep the corner control. But look how close they are now. Look, Matthew Ordnance, that's new fastest lap, 29.6, even more. He's increasing the pace, and look at this, Tom. Lewis Fastman then is close to the Lee Kelly.
He's getting proper close now. Will he try and move down into turn 1? Not quite. Gets a good exit. Hopefully he can. He's going to want to make the move eventually, because, well, Lee's holding up a train at the moment.
It is now. Gap now between him and Lewis, 4.5 seconds. They've lost a second last lap. And yes, Marcel, there's only 13 drivers there. Some of them couldn't make it due to connection issues, and a couple people have left due to personal the personal commitments. Sorry, but
sorry, my throat.
Yeah, as Alf then is really on the tail of Lewis Fastman. Lewis Fastman, he needs to pit. David picks up a 3-second time penalty though.
It's the 4th man to get a penalty, sorry. But I'm expecting a few more to come. It's a difficult track to keep on the track.
It's true, Brandon though, I didn't even realise he actually had a penalty, so that's Brandon then bottling a little bit there as Lewis Fastman on the exit curve, probably going to set up the car a little bit, but look how close Bugatti is now. He knows he's quicker. He needs to get the position, because if he doesn't, he's going to lose DRS range to Lee Kelly. Lee Kelly and Lewis Fastman gap currently 8 tenths. I think it is time to send it. Will Lewis pit though?
Yeah, there he goes. I mean, if it went any longer, that's suicide, to be honest. But he's done a good stint on them tyres. He's taken them a long way. He's going to want a good second stint to back it up now.
Hopefully yeah, that is true. Hopefully he does keep the position, as these guys are probably not going to scrap for position right now. I want to have a look on the Mr. Sohaug on a lap around here, as we will keep an eye on battle for 12th place as well. I believe there will be an overtake between these two soon, as actually, to be honest, Freddie is on a mission right now on those hard tyres compared to Kevin on the mediums. So maybe the hards are working in these conditions with the cloudy weather, and Well, Tom, if you want to go on board with these two right now, as it looks like Flay could make an overtake.
Yeah, he's going into turn. Oh, he backs off. It looks like Kevin looked like he was going to go defensive into the inside, but he didn't. And Fleddy was expecting that to happen. I think he wanted to go around the outside. But I reckon if Fleddy sent that into turn 1, he would have taken the position. But unfortunately, he's going to have to sit behind now. But yeah, the hard tyres are paying off. He looks like he's got good pace in comparison to Kevin. So maybe next lap, turn 1, he'll make the move.
I'll tell you personally, would definitely be making a move in turn 1, is this guy. Alfie, currently in 4th right now, and look at the time he's gained. It was 7 to 8 tenths last lap to Lee Kelly. It is now 4 tenths, so he's gained at least 3 tenths this lap. So he's on a mission to get 3rd place, but soon these guys will be making their pit stops, around about lap 15 to lap 16. Lap 17 is the pit window for the mediums, as it's only a 27 lap race. And Tom, just a quick question, when do you think Matthew will pit, to be honest? Do you think he's going to go a bit early, or do you think he's going to let Lewis go a bit early on the pit stop strategy?
Well, I mean, there's no real risk for him. He's got a big gap to Lewis, so if I reckon between them, I'd let Lewis be the one to pit first, because obviously Lewis Wassman, he might get an undercut. So I think Matthew should let his teammate get the earlier pit stop to protect the undercut. And I think Matthew will be fine. He won't get undercut by anyone, to be honest. He's too far ahead, in my opinion. So maybe a lap later than Lewis. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, very interesting to see. Last time we saw the Alfa males actually fight for position was actually in Melbourne, the first round. As Lewis Curse picks up his first penalty of the race, and that's classic Lewis. Either he crashes or he picks up penalties. So Lewis then, already on the penalty board. Oh, Rocco runs really wide there. Same with Bran. Both of them almost going to the gravel trap, and could have easily ruined both their races there. Right now, though, he's trying to keep up with Alfie, who's trying to make an overtake on Lee Kelly.
Yeah, he's been all over the back of him the last couple of laps, especially since again. Another, I swear that was about an improvement of a few tenths as well.
Yeah, 3 tenths improvement on 14 lap medium. This guy it reminds me of Baku. He was on 10 to 11 lap hard, and he was like a second quicker to his teammate who was on the same tyre, doing like to try and go for fastest lap. Unfortunately, he didn't take fastest lap in the end, but it's just mad how Matthew has consistency on those tyres, can save the tyre life and still set blistering lap times. So I think this is probably the competitive season Matthew's ever been in, not against drivers, but him being this quick. Oh, hang on, there's a yellow. We're going on, Freddy. Oh my God, is that Kevin? Sandra saw how the bottle hog himself. He has binned it, and there's a VSC. He has somehow binned it out of the chicane where there usually used to be a bump. There is no bump. You shouldn't lose it there. But the old man, Sandra Sorg, has lost it. He's into the wall, and he's lost his right front tyre, I believe, or left front. And he will be very disappointed in himself. For us commentators, though, it's very good and bad to see a DNF, but it is a shame for Sandra then to DNF in today's race.
I mean, I'm gutted for him, but also it's good entertainment for us. But I'm surprised it wasn't a full safety car, considering Fletty and Kevin. Kevin practically drove through him. But I mean, I'm surprised that wasn't a full safety car, and we were lucky to just have a VSC.
It's true, and that's probably now stretched the medium runners a bit longer now. They will have to make a pit stop still, and hopefully we don't have a glitch like last season, which did cause a lot of heat in the F1 general chat, where we had to go down on lap 26. There's a couple people in the pits then, Rocco Walsh and Brandon in the pit lane, so they're going for fresh tyres. It'll be Williams versus Mercedes. Williams will definitely win this fight, so we're going to go on board with Ollie and Brandon Vilgas. But as I was saying, last season we had in Japan where Matthew was in the lead by a massive margin, and then the game said he was disqualified for not changing tyre, when clearly he was on the softs at the start, went hard tyres. And then he got disqualified. Then Thomas Traupi's got a puncher, Rocco got a puncher. It was chaos in that race, and we had to go on lap 26 finishing results instead of lap 27, as it just caused chaos for the stewards.
I know, I remember that big discussion. I mean, there's a lot of controversy with it as well, because I mean, we never had. It's so awkward to deal with a glitch like that when, you know, the game's obviously wrong, and it just messes up a lot of people's races, to be fair. So.
Well, I'll definitely tell you somebody's race who's messed up on strategy. Oh, and look at the rear end kicking out there, Lewis Fassman. He has been jumped by Rocco, and Rocco will be loving this, because Lewis Fassman right now is holding up Brandon Glover as Ollie and Brandon Villas are fighting for P5 currently, as Lewis Curtis does, as you were right there. Lewis Curtis takes the pit stop in the second place then, so he pits first, and then the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri is in the pits as well. Hopefully there's no chaos between Brandon Villas and Ollie. No, they go into the pits cleanly. Will any of these drivers get held up, that is? Oh, Alfie got held up! Alfie got held up in the pit lane. Oh no, actually, did he get held up or was that a glitch?
Well, for me, it looked like he got held up.
Yeah, same here, and it looks like it actually was a glitch there. As Lewis Curtis comes back out in second, but look at Rocco Walsh! He is in third place! Massive jump there by Rocco. He is a man on a mission. I predicted in the party earlier on with him, I am expecting a third place. Now, Rocco, do not let me down. You're in third, pick up the pace and bring it home. Right now, 5.7 seconds off Lewis Curtis, but he's got a massive train behind.
I mean, it's good to see how much he's improved since he's gone no line, and it just shows he's still got the pace. P3, no line, he's purple sector 1. He's showing it all. He's doing well.
He is doing well, but he's now in threat now, though. He's got to save his AES a little bit. He's got to save his fuel as well. Unfortunately, we don't be able to get to see that as we used to on the older games. But right now, he's got a gap of 5/10, but he doesn't look quick, as it looks like somebody has dropped a bottle or something in the commentary box. I told you, no drinking Corona on the job. As right now then, Lee Kelly, 5/10 off Rocco Walsh, and well, looks like an interesting fight is going to happen for the final spot, as Matthew Order then peels into the pits, comes out of the pit lane, and yeah, he's definitely going to take the lead as we get another glitched pit stop with the delayed thing, and yep, he's definitely got it.
It's a good move. Oh, 3-second penalty for Lewis Fassman.
Oh, yeah, that is actually interesting. 3-second penalty indeed. Rocco Walsh then sets the new fastest start, 28.8. And let's have a look at the fastest start currently. Let's see what everyone's race pace is at. Not that bad, to be honest.
No, it's looking good amongst
But look, Lee is all over him. Lee is fighting for position right now. He's looking hungry than like he used to. It reminds me of him in Season 5, IRL F2. He was really hungry fighting with me and Paco, going for overtakes. Will there be a Lee dive bomb? Hopefully we do see that on Rocco Walsh, and a nice scrap for third place.
Yeah, I mean, Lee's showing ridiculous potential at the moment. He's showing the pace, and as you can see here, P4. I was hoping he'd go for the dive into that corner, to be fair. Would have been interesting, but thinks better of it, the smarter option.
Well, this is definitely going to cause chaos. I just pray that there's no crash and Bran gets another podium. He said he'd like another podium around Japan. He got one last week, and that's 2 podiums this season he's had. He's probably looking for a third, but right now, though, the train is now starting to split off into a 3-car train now instead of a 5-car train between the AlphaTauri, Red Bull and the Williams.
Yeah. And I mean, Lewis and Pete too as well. I think he's got a 3-second penalty, but he's looking comfortable. He's just gone for fastest lap by a few tenths, and there's no danger behind the two Alfa Romeo boys.
Well, actually, not by a few tenths, by a whole second.
Lee's making a move.
Oh, he is. Lee in the inside, goes ahead of Rocco Walsh. So Lee then goes for the dive, and that's probably going to unsettle Rocco now for Alfie, but he keeps his composure, and he'll just have to wait for Lee to make a mistake, because Lee has been in this position before. You know, past seasons he's been in the McLaren. He was fighting for position, fighting for just constant point, and he just cracked and made mistakes and just went into the wall. Hopefully he can keep it under control and hold third place and be on the podium for a very long time. Actually, I believe it will be his first podium in IRL F1, because I don't believe he ever made it to the podium in IRL F1. I know in F2 he got a win and a podium, but yeah, it's good to see then Lee Kelly into third place. No penalty at the moment, which is not like him, but a very nice little scrap we have for the final podium spot. It's lap 19 out of 27.
Yeah, well, it's a big moment for Lee on the podium position for the first time in the top division of IRL. We'll just have to wait and see if he's got the bottle to keep the position and avoid making any mistakes. But Rocco's going to be hungry to get that position back, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that is true. Rocco is getting hungry. He's now starting to pull a gap of 8/10 to Alfie. So maybe it is a little fight between the Brit and the Irish. Who is going to win? I hope it is the Brit, because the Brits just destroy everything they see. But right now, though, Rocco and Lee, close friends of mine, and you know, they're very clean. So I think it's going to be a nice fight between Rocco and Lee Kelly, as there's been a fight further behind between Ollie and Lewis Curtis. And Lewis Curtis then drops to 8th, so that soft to medium strategy hasn't played ball, and he's losing just time and positions. As next up, he will be under threat by Brandon Vilgas, who's really catching up on those soft tyres.
I mean, yeah, it's gone from bad to worse for Lewis. I mean, it's not like he's showing bad pace or anything, it's just the strategy. He got it wrong from the start, but it's unfortunate for him. And like you say, Brandon Vilgas, he's going to be hungry for this position now. He knows he's quicker on the softer tyre.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that fight further down as well. Right now, they're back on board with the position 3 fight right now. And look at the gap between Lewis and Lee Kelly, 8.1 seconds. Then we look at the gap to the leader. The gap to the leader from Lee Kelly is 12.2. Matthew is a man on a mission. It is ridiculous right now. We can't believe I'm seeing this. Will it be a repeat of last season where there was a glitch and we're going to have all this chaos again? Or will Matthew keep the win this time? Well, he kept the win actually last time as well, but win on lap 27, and instead of lap 26, Lewis Curtis is not even catching him. Gap 4 seconds. As well, Alfie's caught up Rocco, and Rocco's caught up with Lee Kelly. And is anyone going for an overtake? Let's have a look then. Nah, not close enough.
Alfie's. Oh no, never mind. I saw only 2/10 within Alfie and Rocco, but there was nothing in it, to be honest, no move. But yeah, it's a close battle for that P3 now.
Oh, Rocco got hit in the rear end there between Alfie. It's getting a bit juicy between these two, between an Alpha and a Williams. Looks like Lee's trying to pull away. Gap now 7/10 between him and Rocco, but Bran there just waiting in the wings in case anything gets a little bit messy. Anything, as I said, anything can happen. And I can't believe we're saying this, Tom, but Brandon Vilgas still hasn't got past Lewis Bassman yet.
I know Lewis has done well to keep position so far. Shows he's got some skill on defence. But Brandon Villas, he's going to be eager to get past because the tyres are still fresh. He knows he's got the pace. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But he should get past soon.
Yeah, it's true. And right now, then the gap further behind between Freddie and Kevin, it's definitely confirmed they won't be scoring points today. They're way off the pace. Current gap between Freddie and Davidic is 16.9 seconds. So we're going to stay on board with this fight right now.
Another fastest lap.
Oh god, 27.5.
Ridiculous.
Matthew, you've been tasked to do a 27 flat. Okay, I expect that lap time, and please do it.
If not, he's a fraud.
I agree. There's no overtake there from Rocco or Alfie, but a possible overtake from Brandon Vilgas now. He's getting closer to Lewis Bassman, but he just doesn't have the straight line speed or ERS. This is what's hurting him right now. He needs to save his ERS to go for the overtake, because right now he's looking quicker than Ollie Favell, especially with Lewis Bassman keeping up with him. And just look how much speed he has in the corners, but just that dirty air is affecting his car.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that, so I can't comment on it. But you were just saying saving ERS. Matthew, I was on board. He's on 6%. Gone up to 12 now. I've never seen this from Matthew. He's always wanted to save his ERS in case something happens, but he's absolutely obliterated at this race. I suppose he's wanted to show his pace.
Yeah, maybe to show his face. He did have the fuel warning light. Yes, yep, the fuel warning light is flashing on his car. Keeps going on and off. Maybe it's a telemetry issue, or he actually is under fuel, because that's not like him either. And ERS, like you said, ERS as well, only 8%. He's a ERS merchant usually. He usually has over 80% by this time, but maybe he wanted to do one quick lap to confirm to get the fast lap. He hasn't had the fast lap at all this season. He's been so close to getting it. But right now, though, he has it by 2/10. But Lewis Curtis isn't that far off. Gap currently 5.8 seconds. But Lewis could decide to save his ERS, save his fuel, and then go for a quick push lap. Or somebody else could pit further behind and take the lap from him. As we're going to go back on board with Ollie then, as Lewis Bassman. It looks safe from Brandon for now, as he's actually gaining time on Ollie Favell.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis Vassens, he's showing the pace on the mediums, and I suppose the gap's going to be getting smaller and the mediums will, you know, quicken up and the softs will start degrading. I mean, it's getting to the crossover point, but Brandon's still showing pace through the S's. He's just caught straight back up to Lewis, so it'll be interesting to see if any moves happen for that battle for P7.
Oh yeah, we'll keep an eye on this fight, but we have to also keep an eye on Rocco as well. He was at the start of sector 1, 2/10. As Favel picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Brandon Vegas can just kick his feet up, grab a beer, relax, and just stay behind these two, and he will get the position because they have penalties. Now let's have a look at Brandon's penalties. He also has 3 seconds. Brandon isn't safe. Gap between Ollie and Brand is 3.2. Now Brandon Vegas, if he wants another position, if you are hearing this through your phone or anything like that, you need to get past these two now and push like lightning, because Brandon isn't safe for that position, and if you want more points, 6th is up for grabs, as we're now going to go for the fight for 4th place and 3rd now between Rocco, Lee Kelly, Alfie and possibly Brandon Glover, if he can keep up with this train, which he also needs to be safe from not losing 6th place.
Yeah, it's a very close battle at the moment, especially with these penalties going on. And Brandon Villegas will be eager to get past the other Brandon on the track to get that P6, and he can do it because he's keeping up behind Lewis and Ollie closely. But yeah, it looks like it's a very close battle for P4 going on.
Yeah, as we keep an eye on that, and I've just noticed something as well. The fastest start from Matthew is under threat. Kevin Harrison on fresh, soft tyres. Now let's have a look at Kevin Harrison's tyres, because we don't expect an overtake here being made. He's already using his ERS. He is burning that ERS. Geez, he's brave, leaving his overtake through the double left there, turn 15 16. That is mad, him doing that, as he is going for broke. Fast start currently is a 27.5. He's only 2/10 up on his time, so apparently he'd do a 28.4. Unless that is a Delta glitch or something right now. He needs to find more time. Here comes Kevin then. Around the final corner. Will he go for fastest lap? Nowhere near. And he does a 28.5. A 1.5 tenths improvement.
I mean, it's difficult to get Matthew's fastest lap. He is rapid, so I think any attempt at it, it's got to be a good shot.
Oh god, Rocco went deep there. Oh no, Rocco went a bit deep, and now he's really under threat. Alfie is really close. Will he be using all of his overtaking ERS usage? And here comes Alfie, and he's coming closer and closer, but he holds the position for now. Or will Alfie go for a dive? As it's getting really close now between these top 3. You could just throw a blanket over him. It is this close right now.
This is a very close battle for P3, and fortunately it's not going to be on pens, which we do see a lot of the time, because these 3 guys all have managed to keep it clean in terms of track limits, so it should be a very close battle. And so far Lee's managing to hold both the guys off, so he's got the bottle so far.
Yeah, right now, yeah, he's doing a magnificent job right now, and it's very good to see it's not a penalty deciding factor for 3rd place, as we're on lap 25 out of 27. Plenty of laps to make a mistake. There's only a couple, but there's plenty of time, plenty of laps to just crack under the pressure and cut the corner and get a penalty. And now this is now turned into a 4-car fight. Then again, Bran has closed even more up this time. He's 6.5 tenths behind, so don't count Bran out. Even though he's got a penalty, he can get it on track, because he could make these 3 get a penalty and possibly hold that position. And it looks Bran is safe holding 6th place right now as well, because look at the gap between him and Ollie, 4.8.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a gap now, bit of a big gap.
Well then, I think Kevin will be saying, please lap me this lap so I don't have to do another. We're on lap 26 though out of 27. So next lap will be the last time round for Matthew. And he's getting on Kevin Harrison, but still an overtake for 3rd place between Rocco, Alfie and Lee Kelly. Oh, but hang on, I see an overtake further behind. Lewis Bassman going around the outside of Ollie Favel. Ollie Favel going side by side. We finally see an overtake in this race. Lewis Bassman round the outside of medium tyres with the grip. So the medium's now starting to work for him. And he's got the position.
I mean, I was on board with the Haas behind. That was a great move from the racing point around Ollie. I mean, he full send, got the exit, and it was a perfect move.
Yeah, great overtake there. But as the made the overtake a bit too early, we've got another lap after this. Ollie could come back at him on the straight. because let's check notes here. Neither of these two have a lot of ERS, but Brandon does. He has at least 40, so he can even get him on the straight near 130R, or he can get him in the DRS zone. But look at Ollie, rear end there, kicks out a little bit. That could have ended in tears. He would have been frustrated there if he hit the wall and lost his left tyre, but he keeps it from the wall this time out. Will he put it in the wall next lap, do you think, Tom, or do you think he'll be able to creep it on in 9th place after penalties with Brandon gets moved up?
I mean, I'm hoping he manages to get it home and maybe re-overtake Lewis Wassman, but we'll have to wait and see. It's just unfortunate he has picked up that 3-second penalty, because it's so unlike Ollie to get penalties. I think it might have been his first one of the season, I'm not too sure on that, but he rarely ever gets penalties. So, yeah.
Well then, we're on the final lap of the race then, of the Japanese race, with 13 car grid, only one retirement. Oh, he hits Rocco rear end there. He knows it's now or never. And as we said, Lewis Fassman and Ollie now going side by side. Ollie's trying to do what Lewis did to him. Lewis holds it, but they're going to go side by side. Oh, Ollie backs out. Very smart there to get a good run, possibly in the S section, but can't with the grip of the tyres. All softs are dead. He needs to now realise this and just hope that the driver behind him gets a penalty.
I mean, that was interesting. I thought he was going to spin it. Oh, 3-second pen.
Alfie isn't looking for a possible podium now then, so Rocco is safe in 4th. Rocco is the only guy who can get 3rd place. It's now or never, but look at Alfie. He's making an overtake on the inside of the hairpin. It's placed this new fastest lap, 27.5. Matthew will be furious. Still, no fastest lap this season. And Rocco Walsh is really on the threat now by Alfie. Alfie is going for it. He has nothing to lose, as we're going to go on board with Matthew very soon. There's yellows further behind. That is a Ferrari going slowly. But Tom, if you can keep an eye on this fight, as Matthew then goes across the line to take the win on track by 8 seconds.
Ridiculous. I mean, Rocco's too far back to make the move on the lead now. I mean, he's going to be so disappointed that Alfie's made a move on him with 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's probably annoyed him, but the youngster, the Irish, Mr. Lee Kelly takes 3rd place, and he's back on the podium. He'll be over the moon with that. Rocco Walsh in 4th, Alfie in 5th, Brandon Glover, very average 6th place there. Brandon Velez moves into 7th, good drive there from him. Lewis Fassman disappointed there with the strategy in 8th, Oifel 9th, Davidic in 10th. Fleddy then looks like he's going to round up the grid in 11th, because he's definitely not going to get caught by Mr. Kevin Harrison, who's 22.5 seconds away from him, as Fleddy did pit, and he does confirm he has got the fastest lap, but he doesn't get the point. He is 11th place right now, unless someone gets a massive penalty, which I doubt it, but anything can happen, of course, in F1. And Fleddy then does steal the fast lap point yet again from Matthew. 5 wins now for Matthew, and still no fastest lap. Well then.
I mean, he's going to be gutted, but I mean, he'll be happy he got the win, but and the points for pole. But he wants that extra point for fastest lap. He hasn't quite had it this season so far.
As Kevin is showing the Japanese drivers in the crowd how to drift in the F1 car, and I don't want to see what the issue is. Oh, and he's into the wall, and that's just ruining the Racing Point paint scheme there, Kevin. But he comes in style into 12th place there in the Racing Point, and it's been a bad day for him. Even though he was on no ABS, he's done well at the start, but then bad at the end with the contact. And Rocco Walsh, driver of the day there, but I would give it Rocco, but I think Lee Kelly deserves it. But the man who deserves the win today is Matthew Older. He takes the win yet again, and that is 5 out of 6. He couldn't take Hungary, but he takes first with Lewis Curtis second. Lee Kelly takes 3rd place, so a very interesting podium there for Lee, and a good result from him for the Red Bull team as well.
Yeah, it's a great result for Lee. First F1 podium. I'm buzzing for that lad. He deserves driver of the day. It's a good drive from the man in P3 and in P4. And a great win for Matthew again.
Obviously, well done. Here is the official results then. As I said, the top 3 is Matthew, Lewis and Lee Kelly. Rocco Walsh then does be classified in 4th. He did start 7th, so I would like to give him credit as well. Alfie in 5th, Brandon Glover in 6th, Brandon Villiers in 7th then. Lewis Bassman in 8th. Oliver Feld then drops to 9th, starting from 11th. So only gained 2 positions. Davidic got 10th, only gained 2 positions as well in 12th. But Vey then in 11th, started 10th. He lost the position, but got the fastest lap, which will annoy Matthew a lot because it's very close, the fastest lap difference between them two. Kevin Harrison then in 12th place with Sondra Sohaug, the man who had an issue with the setup all day today. He said he had no rear end grip, so that is a shame there for the Bottle Haug in 13th, but he DNF'd and also had 6 seconds worth of penalties. Well then, I will invite the top 3, which is Matthew, Lewis and Lee Kelly then, for podium interviews. And yeah, it's been a very interesting race, as we'll just find them, as knowing PSN, I'll take it is. Let's have a look. CG. Come on, there we go. It has been indeed, Tom. Unfortunately, the stream can't hear you while I'm in the blue screen, unfortunately. Lee. Tez Lee, it's T-A-Z_Lee in it. There we go. And they've all been invited for the podium interviews. But yeah, you're right, it's been a very exciting race, even though with a 13 car grid. You know, yeah, the win wasn't exciting as much. Matthew won yet again with domination, but, you know, still, we had a fight for 3rd place, 4th, 5th, 6th, and, you know, it was a bit of chaos at one point at the start of the race, bit of, you know, anything could happen. We didn't know about the weather, and it's been a good race anyway, so more people will turn up next week, as a couple people couldn't make it due to connection issues, not making on time, and as I said, a couple of people have left this season as well due to personal reasons, them being a bit down and everything. But we will get on board with the podium interviews, and Lewis Curtis has joined. Do you know if Matthew's joining, or is he still loading it? No, he's loading it. Well then, Tom, do you want to start off with Mr. Lewis Curtis, as Lee will probably join later on?
Yeah, can do. Well, Lewis, congratulations, P2.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's down. Yeah, good race for you. Looked like it was a comfortable P2. You had a pretty big gap to the guys behind. When you got your 3-second penalty, were you worried at all?
I wasn't really that worried because Lee was quite considerably slower throughout the majority of the race. My only issue was that if I ever caught up to Matthew, I'll have a pen, so wasn't really able to fight him.
Fair enough. Well, in quali we saw it was quite heavy rain. So what was your thinking going into that? Were you confident on the medium to softs, or was there any decision to make between different strategies?
Well, my main plan was to load into race and go in race direction and see what Matthew did. Saw him select mediums, so I took that and put mediums on the car. And what was that strategy?
Fair enough. Always copy what the fast man does. So, yeah, and then finally looking into next week, I'm not sure what track it is. Jared, you know?
I'll quickly get that info right now. It is Austria.
Austria. Are you confident you'll get on the podium, maybe challenge Matthew for the win, or how are you feeling into next week?
Not very confident around Austria, but anyway, I'll be able to challenge Matthew to keep him at DRS at the start, which kind of got by Lee on today's race.
Fair enough. Any comments on your race?
It's very boring and very just casual drive to a finish in second, very lonely.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, congratulations on P2. Another big points finish for you and your team. And good luck for next week.
Thank you.
Well, then good luck for next week as well, Lewis, as hopefully we get your old scenario, you know, crashes into the wall and everything, but good luck for next week. And before we do move on to Matthew, I just got to send this invite to Lee again, as apparently I've sent it to the right account. Give me a second, because apparently it's wrong. Okay, that apparently doesn't exist. So silly PSN, honestly. I've put his full name in now. There we go. Now I've got it. There you go, Lee. You've been added to the right account. Well then, Mr. Matthew Order, are you here?
No, I'm not today.
Oh yes, right. He's not here. All right, you know, great. No, all jokes. Congratulations on the win. You know, dominant fashion yet again. You showed some strong pace and quality in the interconditions as well. And it was quite close actually at one point between you and Lee near the end. Were you worried at what with Lee getting first that you probably would have made a mistake in the quali session?
No, because I only had like a corner left, and I knew that it's an easy corner to not make a mistake at, especially with the lap where I already had not having a very good one, so I knew that I would have par anyway. I didn't really think anyone was actually going to beat my original time, because I didn't think anyone was like incredibly close, but Lee did beat it, but I wasn't really worried about it.
Well then, after quali then was a very good result for you there, and then you got those 2 points in qualifying first. With the race then, unfortunately yet again, you didn't get the fastest lap, but you get your 5th win. How was the race in your point of view with how the strategy went and how the race went for you and the team?
Well, it went very well for the team, obviously. We got max points except 1, so yeah, obviously for the team it pretty much confirms how we're going to win. Well, my start was good. I knew Lee was on like a pad, so I was thinking that he might be able to jump me, but he didn't actually get as good of a start as I thought he would, and my start wasn't even like really good, so I had a bit of wheel spin. That's why I cut to the inside so fast, because I lost the back end of it. But I think it was lap 3 or something. I had the 2-second gap to Lewis, and I made a mistake which lost me like 7-6 attempts at the spoon. Then I took me like 2 laps to get back into the rhythm again. Then I set the 2 fast laps, and yeah, it was just about driving until lap 17, because I knew I would, if I pulled enough of a gap, like 3 seconds I think would be enough, then I would have been happy to go lap 17, have fresher softs and have an easier attempt to the fastest lap, but I cut the last chicane on my fastest lap, so so it invalidated it. So I didn't actually get the fastest lap because I did another attempt and that wasn't fast enough.
Well, that is a shame there, Matthew. Unfortunately, you didn't get the fastest lap. Just give me 2 seconds. Tom, could you quickly ask Matthew a quick question? Sorry, I've just been shouted.
Yeah. No fastest lap yet so far, Matthew. I saw your ERS was quite low in the race, which is
I had a fastest lap earlier in the season once.
Oh, did you? Oh, it's my apologies.
I think.
But,
no, you didn't.
Oh, then that was Lewis then.
Maybe. So yeah, yeah, I saw your ERS was quite low for most of the end of the race. I'm not sure if that was a telemetry glitch or not, because I very rarely see you with low ERS.
I don't think there's a telemetry glitch telling you the wrong ERS. It was impossible to save the ERS at the end of the race, so I went for the first fast lap and that drained all of it down to 40%. Then I went for the second one, which was the one which was the valid one, the 0.5. And then I had less than 10%, and I couldn't get over each lap. I was just, every time I went into Degner 1 I was always on like 9%, so I never was able to save ERS for the rest of the race after that.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know why I thought of the glitch. I just mean I've never seen you with low ERS before, so I thought maybe a new one's come up. But anyway, yeah, a good race from you. The team, you and the team, still showing dominance. Yeah, well done. We got Lee.
I am here, yes.
Well, you can start off with Lee then, Tom. I just got to sort some stuff out. Apologies for this, but you can start off with
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, congratulations, Lee. I believe it's your first podium in F1.
Yes, it is.
Well done. Yeah, you showed a strong race today. Good pace. Can you talk us through what was going through your head through the race?
Well, obviously at the start, I wasn't going in when I saw it was a wet coil. I wasn't sure of the strategy going into the race. Then thankfully I got told starting the mediums, and then all the race I was under pressure. First by Lewis, then by Alfie, and then by Rocco. So, I mean, when it came to defending from Rocco, I knew because after Sondre crashed, I kind of knew what ERS Rocco was on, so I knew that my tactic was to keep him within my DRS, but far enough so he can't overtake me, because I knew I knew that he had a lot more DRS than me, and I knew that Alfie was on the same. So if Alfie got past him, I think I might have lost it. But yeah, just very happy after my first podium.
Fair enough. Yeah, well done. You've done well. Yeah, so it was Inter's conditions for the qualifying. So interesting strategy for the race. I mean, we saw two different ones. Was there any doubt in your mind before you got told which strategy to choose? What were you thinking?
There was another, I was thinking it's going to be medium soft because the reverse strategy is OP on this game, but I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, just I was interested to see that Lewis did go on the soft. So I thought he might win on mediums, but it actually did make it interesting. But I don't know where he was at the end. He just didn't seem to be able to close up enough.
Fair enough. Well, yeah. Next week, Austria. What are you thinking? Are you confident for the track, or is it a weaker track for you? Do you think you could get another podium, maybe?
Austria. Austria. I think we might see something similar today. It's going to be a DRS train. There's no question about it. So, yeah, Austria. Though, it is definitely one of my stronger tracks. So I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, hopefully, I can be speaking news again next week.
That's good. Well, good luck for next week then. You're showing good pace at the moment. So yeah, congratulations to your first F1 podium. And I hope to see you on the podium more.
Thank you.
Jared, anything to add?
No, just congratulations, Lee, on your first ever podium in the top tier. You had some success in the F2 tier at one point, and then you have some success in the F1 tier. Hopefully, we can see some more success later this season. Well then, this has been an amazing race to watch. A bit boring for the top two, but very exciting midfield action. And I've got to ask you, Tom, what was probably your most exciting moment of the race today?
I mean, I think the battle between third, fourth, and fifth with Lee, Alfie, Rocco, and I think that was probably the most exciting thing for me to watch. It was very close. It was constantly bumper to bumper.
I have to agree there, and especially with that fight. And also, I've also got to add another very awesome moment is when Sondra saw how somehow managed to bin it in where the old bump used to be, but he blames that on Matthew's setup. So I have to agree, Matthew's setup's dodgy. But all jokes and all no horsing around, it's been a very great race to commentate over yet again, and we'll now do the closing out procedure. Well, then, this has been International Racing League round number 6 at Japan. Matthew takes another win. Will anybody able to beat him? Only time will tell. I've been your commentator, IRL Neon, or Jared Lee Fosbury. I've been joined in the booth by Tom Jewell. Paco will join me for the next round, and then Tom after that. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you want to see some more action, join F2 and F3 tomorrow, 4:30 UK time, and FP later in the week on Wednesday at 8 o'clock UK time. Hope you guys have a good time, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.